folks. Madam is here. This is our week in review. This week on the farm was a pretty busy one, folks. It was a little bit of a spillover from last week. We had to finish the hay that we had started. So one of the things that we had to do was we had to rake up the hay, which we had already cut. Now they were calling for rain midweek and potentially into the end of the week. So we were under a little bit of a, let's call it a deadline. So when you rake your hay, you have to take your piece of equipment. It's called a rake. That's what I use. There's different styles. Pulls behind the tractor, and it's a pretty simple piece of equipment. It just works by the movement of the wheels, and it basically flips the hay that you've cut and lays it out into these nice windrows, and it lets it dry and cure better. So we're really fortunate. I mean, it's been ridiculous 40-degree weather. The heat, which has been amazing for drying hay, is an awfully sweaty occasion. So we raked up the hay, we got that sorted out. That was the big push. Then after the hay's raked, we got to wait about a day. With the heat, we could have probably done raking in the morning and baling in the afternoon, but I raked one evening and baled the next day. So that's exactly what we did. So Danielle hopped on the tractor, I got on the wagon, and we basically baled hay. We filled 2 hay wagons with hay, square bales, small squares. So it's a real loading challenge. Small squares are awesome. They really are. They are so nice to work with. We really enjoy using them. However, they are a pain in the ass when it comes to hay season, because you need, typically there's fancy setups, but basically you need at least 2 people minimum, right? One person to operate the tractor, one person to pull the bales and stack them. So Danielle, I trained her up on the baler, so she can drive the tractor pretty good, and I just hang out on the wagon and stack bales. So the grand total was a little over 400 square bales. There's always a few that bust open, and there's a few at the beginning of the baling cycle while it kind of gets itself sorted out that don't make the cut. So we're going to call it 400 bales for the year. And yeah, that's not too bad. That's off of our fields and our neighbor's field. That pretty much fills the barn. So that was the next step. We had to get the wagons uncovered and backed up to the barn. And anybody who has ever backed up a four-wheeled wagon knows how enjoyable it is and how rewarding when you get it the first try. Yep, that's right, first try. Unloading 400 square bales over the course of a day, after stacking them just the day previous, into the barn in 40-degree weather, pleasurable, let's say. Who needs a vacation when you have that? Fuck yeah! Ah. So that's basically what I did midweek. The rain was coming, it needed to happen. So I would do about 20 minutes of bale stacking, head inside, pound back one of the kids' freezies, and lay on the basement floor where it's nice and cool, and try to prevent myself from getting like heat stroke or something. Pretty sure I was urinating Gatorade because I drank so much of it in the course of like 2 days. So yeah, that was that's square bales. That's square bales. So this is the second week of garden production. We've been putting food out at the roadside stand for sale. Danielle has been hard at work weeding and working in the garden. This has basically been her baby this year, and yeah, it looks amazing. Really happy. So last week we harvested cucumbers, we harvested peas, salad mix, which we've been harvesting now for several weeks. What else did we harvest? We harvested, I picked a couple of zucchinis this morning, put out bok choy, which has been a great success. Lots of people really love bok choy, so I really like it, so that's why I grew it. And yeah, we're gonna have some tomatoes, some peppers, we're gonna have beans, all kinds of great things coming up. The peas have also been a huge hit. We did 3 50-foot rows of peas. We've been harvesting those now for 2 weeks and just filling baskets and putting them out at the stand, selling them by the pint. I love the peas. So yeah, I need to work on the trellis system next year a little better. This kind of was a little bit of a flop. So yeah, that'll be a next year's adventure. So, oh yeah. So I've had my older daughter out in the garden helping harvest now for a little bit. So that's something that she's got to do this year to kind of build that experience and respect for farm chores. I really believe that when youth spend time with their food, raising it, growing it, whatever, being a part of that process. They understand where their food comes from. They're more willing to eat fresh and healthy things, and just by proxy, if they're involved with it, they're growing it, they're eating it. It's it's a part of the life cycle. They learn about their food, where it comes from. Finally got that rain, which was oh so glorious and so refreshing. Everything, really appreciated it. It cooled down the temperature a little bit, so the cows, the pigs, the humans were all very much appreciating that. And the moisture too. It's been so dry. We're very fortunate. We have a spring-fed pond, lots of water, and that's never really an issue for us. We irrigate. I have a pump which draws it up. So we always have that, and we'll have that ability to add that extra water as we need. But you really see it in everything else, how it struggles when there isn't that moisture. We took another step forward towards getting the yurt rental operation online. So I had our gray water permit inspection. This was part 2 of 3. So they came, North Bay Manawa Conservation Authority, inspected the gray water pit. It was a gray water trench actually that I had installed. These really neat infiltrator system. It just kind of snapped together, and I just dug the trench the appropriate depth and width, put it in, passed, awesome, super stoked. Now we move on to stage 3, which is once I finished it and filled it in and grass is grown, then it gets its final pass and final inspection. So that's already been filled in, so we're just waiting on the grass. Yeah. In addition to that, we finished working on the outhouse. There's still a little bit more work to be done there, so we just kind of got to trim it up and make it look pretty. Actually put a toilet seat in, put the sink in for the wash station. Yeah, that's basically that process. It's almost there as well, a little more finished. There's a few little final touches that need to be done still on the yurt. One thing I had to do was make a beautiful hand forged door handle. So that was part of getting on to the forge again this week when the weather cooled down. It really makes it nice. So you can do some things that you wouldn't normally want to do, like sit in front of a hot forge with a hammer on an anvil and smash away at steel. So when the rain came and things kind of cooled down a little bit, I kind of took that opportunity to hop on the forge and make something nice for the yurt. So there's still a few more things I'm going to do, kind of like a toilet paper roll holder, and I want to do some curtain rods and a few other little kind of things for the yurt itself to kind of bring out that handcraftedness, unique look. So that's the plan. We built the bed frame for the queen size bed, got the mattress in for that, so really kind of excited to get that going. I'm gonna get the furniture set up with some slip covers, cup table, some nice things in here, get a carpet, get it all cleaned up. Yeah, so we're a couple weeks out from getting this bad boy up and renting it out to the public. So I spent some time getting our Airbnb ad up. So go check that out on Airbnb. I linked it into the description down below. So if you want to share that or anything. So we're going to be adding new photos of the yurt once I have it staged nicely and cleaned up. And yeah, so check that out and keep checking that as it goes. And if you're watching this video in the future, then come on down and stay at our wonderful yurt rental on a beautiful farm in Northern Ontario. This is a working farm, and it doesn't really get much better than this. So yeah, really excited to get the yurt up and get it renting out to the general public. Chores continue this week. That includes moving the chicken tractors, feeding the pigs, taking care of the animals, the general tidying of the landscape around the garden and the yurt. Our pullets and our cockerels are nearing 12 weeks old now, so the chicken tractors have to be moved pretty much every day. So as they grow, they might need to be moved twice a day. However, we kind of time it and space it out so that at around 16 weeks, which is when the heritage birds kind of get to their maturity, we send the roosters off to freezer camp, and that opens up some space to spread the rest of the birds around in the pen. The feeder pigs that we have growing are getting near and dear to their time away from the farm. So that's about 2 weeks out. So looking forward to that because about 3 weeks after, or sorry, about 3 weeks from now, we'll have beautiful fresh pork in the market, in the freezer, at our roadside stand. So that's going to be, yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that. We're just kind of like holding on to the last little bit of pork we had from our last butcher. And yeah, so that's going to be some fresh, delicious meat out there. So that's something to look forward to if you're in the neighborhood. I am really enjoying raising these turkeys. They are absolutely hilarious. Uh, I've never raised turkeys before, so it's been pretty fun experience. However, they're becoming a little bit of a pain in my ass because unlike chickens, they don't seem real interested in going back to their home each night. So it involves me with whatever long object, broom, garden hoe, stick, herding them in, like I don't know, sheep or something into their little hut. So uh, it is what it is. It's only 11 birds, and they're not here permanently. So it was a good experience. We might do it again next year, but in a different way. They really free range all over. Like it blows me away how far those turkeys will free range. So it'll get a little out of hand if we had any more than 11. Yeah, even with 11, it's getting out of hand. Not sure what the rest of the week's going to have in store. I know that a big push is to get the yurt cleaned up and get some nice photos and everything so that the listing can really take off. And we've already seen, I posted it yesterday, we've already seen some interest. So that's going to be the big push this week. I know my daughters have been begging to stay out in the yurt once it's ready. So they're going to be the first guests. We'll have a nice little family camp out here. Looking forward to that. That'll be something nice. All in all, it's coming along. Thanks so much for following along. If you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'm going to continue to post these vlog updates weekly. It's been a lot of fun kind of recording the footage and keeping track of what I've been doing. So I really appreciate it. Like this video and comment in it about what kind of things you want to maybe see from us, some more information about different things that we have going on, or just share any insights you might have, because by all means we are not expert farmers. We're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants. So love to hear any input that you have, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, folks, and we'll see you guys next time.